On another hot day in Arizona, we're here with Mahir Sanhasan. I'm Kevin Cardez. Salt River Fields once again. Lumber Kings in turn 2. A little bit of a late start. Apologies for jumping in late. Quick ground out to shortstop. Start the game 1 out, 1 down. Lumber Kings at the plate. Turn 2 wearing red all night. Lumber Kings in the deep navy. Fouled off into the backstop. Lineups on the way. Mahir, great to have you back.
Yeah, absolutely, Kevin. It's always great when both of us are on a call, and we got a great game tonight, an evening feel to it. So the temperatures have died down from what we were experiencing earlier today.
Definitely was hotter. No game on at 5 p.m. Lumber Kings in order. We're looking at Ethan Reich, Caden Rue, Caden Boyle, Tanner Carlson, Jesus De La Riva, Cameron Dugan, AJ Stone, Devin Duke, Cole Ariacho, Andrew Gonzalez, Keanu Lewicka, Russell Lopez, Coy Miller, and David Robeloth. On the mound, they'll have Jacob Schubert. Plethora of pitchers tonight, Mahir. On the way for turn 2, they have a full rotation lined up. No position players seeming to come in unless everything does go wrong. It's been an interesting year for pitchers in the league. We've seen a lot of them get batted around. Our last broadcast saw both go deep, and that was pretty much the first time we've had that happen on the Arizona Woodbat broadcast.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of pitchers go deep, especially on Monday when we were on the call, and I think it's kind of refreshing because this is a tight-packed week for all of these teams in the league. You've got 3 games, at most 3 games, and then you've got 3 days, all of which having 11 games, both here at Salt River Fields and then also down at Arizona Athletic Ground. So it's a good time to be an Arizona Woodbat League fan as we head into the long weekend.
Absolutely, as a walk is issued there quickly. That's Esteban taking his base quickly. Schubert got a quick out the top of the inning. 1 down, 1 on the corner there, first base. It's those free bases, Mahir, that have sort of run these games early on in this season. Lots of mistakes have allowed for runs to score when sometimes there's 2 outs on the board. Schubert prepares to deal his first pitch of this at-bat. It goes wide. Ball 1.
That's always a big thing, Kevin, when you look at a guy like Esteban Marin, one of the best players on this Lumber Kings side. He's a guy that can attack the ball, and sometimes just putting him in on base for a ball 4, sometimes it can be a bit beneficial, but at the same time, you want him out.
Absolutely do want him out. Kyle Neef at the plate. Third baseman for this Lumber Kings team. Up and down year for the Lumber Kings. We'll get into that shortly. Schubert checks over at first. No stealing threat currently. Not a big lead off first. Pitch on the way. Called strike at the knees.
Schubert just trying to get back into his rhythm here, taking that 2-0 count down to a 2-1. He's trying to work himself back, make this game a little bit even so he doesn't get behind and it starts to snowball.
Grounder there under the glove of the third baseman. Gets right behind that backheel glove. Runners advance. That's a quick single. Runners on first and second now after that walk issued after the first ground out. Haven't scored a whole lot this year. 19th in the league in scoring, only 50 runs so far. 3-5-1 record reflects that. Offense has been hard to come by. First inning runs would be nice for them to have. Schubert throws for a strike on the outside corner. Brent Rigtrap at the plate takes outside. 1-1 count there. Brent will play catcher for the Lumber Kings tonight. Ethan Marin, sizable lead off at second. That's cranked into center field. Center field, here it comes. Throw not even made. Quick double there for Brent Rigtrap. Got down right over bases, score a quick 2-0 lead there for the Lumber Kings, right as we talk about offense being hard to come by.
Yeah, absolutely, and that's what you need if you're the Lumber Kings in general. You just got where he needed to go. These batters are not really trying to crank it past the infielders or outfielders. They're just trying to find the soft dollops in between and get something to go their way.
Anthony Aguilar at the plate here. Center fielder for this Lumber Kings team, trying to drive in his teammate Brent Rigtrap on second base. He'll take low for another ball. Schubert a little frustrated after that one. You're right, me here. Brent Rigtrap didn't even need to slide into second base. No throw sent to second, no throw sent to home, just a cutoff. That ball went deep into center field. Like I said, center fielder just a few steps off of it. Strike on the outside corner there. Pretty wide strike zone tonight, me here.
Yeah, definitely. It seems like it's definitely expanded, and that can change how a lot of the batters try to take some of their takes and see the balls that come into the zone today.
Full count pitch on the way. Fouled back into the backstop. Ball already stuck up in that exact spot. You can see it up there, Mahir. Assuming all goes to plan, Nick Hill will hit after Aguilar. He stands on deck as the pitch from Schubert comes in. Strike three called at the knees. Aguilar gets caught looking at the plate and will walk his way back to the dugout as his teammate Nick Hill will take his spot.
That was an interesting pitch thrown by Schubert because he was looping down, kind of a breaking ball, but at the same time, I think it just caught the bottom part of the zone, Kevin. It was a little bit tough, and that's a tough call to make as an ump, if whether it just grazes the zone or it goes down for a ball. That's an interesting call. I would have gone ball, but again, you could have gone either way with that one.
Could have been a good frame job behind home plate. Regardless, best pitch of the night thrown by Schubert on the mound as he gets another swinging strike. Nick Hill chases off the plate. Cutter goes wide. Outside. Ball one. It's Andrew Gonzalez behind the plate, currently for turn two. Might have helped Schubert steal that third strike that has got him into a more favorable spot. One strike pitch on the way.
We have 2 outs, and you're kind of in free range if you're Rigtrap. You can do whatever you want, try to get into position.
Grounder chopped over to short. Can he make the play? Jeter-esque throw over to first, not in time. Surprisingly close there. Legged out on the base pass by Nick Hill. He'll get a single for that one as Rigtrap trots his way into third. Runners on the corners, 2 down.
I like how you described it there, Kevin. A Jeter-esque play, and again, we've seen some plays on the run, but it had enough velocity. It kind of sort of a bang-bang play at times, just could not do it in general.
That was Caden Boyle at short on the play. Pablo Palencios at the plate. He'll be an extra hitter tonight for the Lumber Kings. Might sub in at some point to play some defense. Right now, just playing a little bit of DH, the wood bat style. Pitch on the way.
And again, the Lumber Kings head coach, he knows a lot of connections in the Valley. He worked with the Blue Jays scouting team before, so he knows a lot of these players. He knows a lot of the ideals that they can bring to the table.
Wide strike called again there. Fastball off the corner of the plate. Seems like the strike zone has run far right into that left-handed hitting box. Popped up. That one might get down over in right field, but it's caught. Turn two gets out of the inning with only 2 runs of damage. Schubert will walk back to the dugout for just a moment. We'll be back and give us 2 at the Arizona Wood Bat League, Field 4, Salt River Fields. Back for the bottom of the first. Up at bat for turn 2, we have Ethan Reich, Caden Rue, and Caden Boyle rounding out the first 3. Assuming that the new man on the mound, Keith Asubio, can get them all out. He'll face this top of the order for the first time as he sets for his first pitch of the inning. Nice little breaking ball there, Mahir. Down low.
Yeah, definitely. You can tell Yusubio has some pace, and he definitely has some velocity on that throw and could possibly cause some damage tonight.
Called strike there on the inside corner for Asubio. And another. Count goes 1-2. Ethan Rice, just an extra hitter tonight for turn 2. Same deal for the turn 2 roster. He might get out there, play a little bit of defense. He might not, but he will bat leadoff all night long. Lined out. That'll fall fair on the right field line. Cruising around first. He's going to challenge for a second base, and he'll get there, sliding.
Again, another good hit going opposite way. That's a tough thing to do in this sport, Kevin. And then he's able to get the moves, taking a lot of steps in the process, but he's able to get there in time and get in, for the most part, a stand-up double. So that's something you want to see, is he'll head back to the dugout and a base runner will come in.
Caden Rue, the left fielder, standing pretty tall in the box, hitting from the right side. Takes the plate next. Fouled off into the backstop. You're right, Mahir, that probably could have been a stand-up double. No need to slide on that one, but no reason to not be safe. Gets down under an invisible tag.
Biggest thing today for Lumber Kings is the relation between Asubio and whoever's behind the dish. That's Brent Richtrup right now. Just try to be on the same page, because it's tough to try to catch those pitches.
As Asubio deals another breaking ball into the dirt. You said it best, Mahir. Lots of pass balls all night tonight. And previously, not tonight, my apologies. It's been the biggest issue for most teams, is keeping guys where they're supposed to be. Don't give up extra base runners. So Asubio deals on that outside corner, and the ball goes free from Richtrop's glove. Ball 4 taken outside there for Caden Rue. He'll march his way into first base as Caden Boyle, the shortstop for turn 2 tonight, takes his spot at the plate. Runners on first and second. No outs for Asubio. He'll have more of the order to go, for sure, than those first 3 outs. Asubio deals first pitch of the at-bat. Check swing. Did he go? Yes, he did.
Boyle's going to be playing more of kind of an acting manager role today. No active manager in the dugout for turn 2 tonight. So he was the one holding the clipboard, getting all the technical stuff, including starting lineups tonight.
Pitch taken outside there by the player coach, Caden Boyle. Not our first player coach involved that we've seen on broadcast. Arizona Geckos have one of our favorites. Count at 1-1. Runners on first and second, no outs. Strike called on the inside corner. Asubio trying to get his footing. Feeling out a few outside corner strikes coming out on the inside, making sure that the plate is his. He'll square up for his first 1-2 pitch of the night. Lined out into deep right center. Center field's going to move all the way over. Moving, his hat is down. It's going to get down. Base runners on the move. Here comes Ethan Rice. He's going to cruise safely into home. That's 1 run, and the runners will be held at third and second. Caden Rue marches all the way to third base, and a double for Caden Boyle.
Another good hit going back towards the track on this relatively toasty Wednesday night, so maybe you could see some balls carry, but how about Caden Boyle, just a break off from home, trying to race towards second. There was, at a point, he was very, very close towards Caden Rue, who was right in front of him, so he knew where he wanted to go. He knew that he was going to run the base pass, and sometimes that's what you need, Kevin, is it's not just what can you do, it's just the baseball IQ inside yourself saying, hey, let's do it.
A little bit of confusion there on the base pass as well once that bat was cracked. A couple turn 2 players thought that was going to get down into a glove. Little jam between first and second, but everyone gets where they need to be as Eusebio deals to Tanner Carlson, the catcher, behind turn 2. No out still for Keith Eusebio. Runners in scoring position once again, third and second. He'll have to defend his own plate. Breaking ball inside, called for a ball.
Eusebio's try to go with that breaking ball today, just try to drive it down towards the ground, and so far turn 2, their batters are not biting. They know where the zone is, and they don't want to get that low.
Another ball down and away. That's 3 in a row for Eusebio. Count goes to 3-1. Technically an open base on first. He'll try to get in the zone on this one. Pitch on the way. Called strike at the knees. Count goes full.
And again, it's just a little bit of pitches from Eusebio. Maybe there was a time where it was looping over towards the inside. This time it goes straight down, but he's been able to get it from points tonight.
Eusebio deals on the 3-2. Popped up on the infield. This might go foul all the way. Coming over towards the dugout is Eusebio. It's brought down. That's 1 out. Eusebio will do it himself. A little confusion on the right-hand side of the field. Nonetheless, an out goes on the board.
Another great play by Eusebio, trying to make up for some ground and taking the leadership there. We usually don't see a pitcher make that run all the way towards the dugout, but he's able to do it. It shows the type of leadership he has in this team.
Jesus Delanva stands in for turn 2, takes a ball. He'll play center field tonight. Looking to get those runs back. Couldn't track down a ball in deep center field earlier on in this inning. Opportunity to get both of them back with runners on third and second. Fastball down and away. 2-0.
If you're turn 2, and I can see it from the runners, they're looking towards home plate, trying to make a run towards home, and you know, you got the tying run 90 feet away, you got the go-ahead one at second base. A lot of opportunity.
Eusebio on the mound, trying to get back in the count. Instead throws inside, and the count goes 3-0. Jesus Delanva, opportunity just to stand in the box and take a few. Try to load the bases here for his teammate. Strike on the outside corner there. And we'll do it once more. 3-1. Swing and a miss on the outside corner. Count goes full. And Keith Eusebio has battled all the way back to make it a full count. Just 1 out on the board, trying to prevent a bases loaded jam here. His team's still in the lead, 2-1. Ball upstairs. That's going to get called for ball 4. Eusebio watches as Jesus Delanva walks over to first, and the bases are loaded for the first time tonight for Cameron Dagan.
So again, a good take by De La Riva. He sees the zone, and it just goes above. So this ump is working with a very low zone today, Kevin, especially with these turn 2 batters. Kind of really dictates the center of gravity.
Subio trying to find that strike zone. You can see him as that ball goes outside. That's where the strikes have been called tonight, in that outside corner. Talking to himself on the mound as he gets ready to deal his 1-0 count. Cameron at the plate. Opportunity to drive in runs. Instead, he watches another ball come in, 2-0.
And again, if you're Isubio, you've been trying to find those corners, just try to find the boundaries within the box, and it hasn't been working that much for him so far.
Fouled, out of play. First strike of the at-bat.
It does beg the question, Kevin, how much you want to go down the middle. Again, down the middle isn't the best, especially with the bases loaded, but if you can try going up high, try going down low, maybe something could work.
Ball upstairs. 3-1 count. You're right, Mahir. At this point, it's all about just getting a strike. A ball in play is better than a walk. You're going to give your team a chance to make a defensive stop. Maybe it's a pop out. Maybe it's a ground out. Anything is better than conceding a run for free, which is what is being stared at with a 3-1 count here. Subio's 3-1 pitch is low and called for ball 4. 1 run comes in as Cameron Dugan manages to walk his way to first and walk in a run, and A.J. Stone comes up to bat.
Back-to-back walks now from Isubio. You can tell that sometimes your velocity, the type of heat you have on it, you have to be very concerned and also very tactical on how you use it at times. We haven't seen him go to much off-speed stuff so far.
Throwing that heater, trying to get his way out of it. Bases loaded. And a strike called. Swing and a miss. A.J. Stone's tonight's extra hitter and first baseman. He'll switch in and out of the diamond, play a little bit of defense, hit a little bit. His spot's much more defined than some. Trying to drive in a few runners and give his team the lead in this 2-2 ball game, bottom of the first. Ball goes wide. 1-2 count. And Isubio's ahead for the first time. It's felt all inning.
And that's a good position to be, because now, especially with the bases loaded, if you can get a strikeout here, that changes the complexity of how this inning can go.
Foul into the backstop. Subio's in a battle now. Much more zone-focused approach now, Mahir. No more nibbling, just trying to get in that zone, produce something that gets an out. He got the first out by himself, ran over to the dugout, pop out, came into his own glove. This time it's on his teammates. 1-2 pitch from Isubio on the way. Taken outside.
And that was another look where we saw Isubio kind of zip that around towards the outside corner after a few off-speed balls towards that same area.
Swing and a miss from A.J. Stone. He'll walk back to the dugout for the second out of the inning. Subio pounces back to the mound. 2-2 ball game, trying to keep it there. Still an opportunity to get out of this one with a tie. 2 outs in the bottom of the first. And here comes Devin Duke.
Another base runner for turn 2 heading towards second, and why not at this rate? We've seen a lot of balls go towards the infield, kind of drop down before it gets to the folks out there, so you want to try to get a guy that can make it towards home.
High and inside. You said it, me here, a little runner exchange out there. Turn 2 is pretty methodical of who throws to who. All their pitchers have a designated catcher that they'll have at some point tonight. As Isubio goes upstairs again for his second ball. Swing and a miss. Eusebio with his first strike of the at-bat. Only 2 strikes away from here from keeping it pretty level. He goes upstairs again.
I like the type of heat he's rolling here. He's gotten into a groove. He's going full fastball. Just trying to zip it in. Now it's more or less he's got his direction controlled. Now he can start using the heat that he has in his repertoire.
Fastball goes outside as the count goes full. Trying to get that fastball on the edge. Get out of this one. 1 strike away for Keith Eusebio. Lots of pitches in this bottom of the first. Fired outside. That's ball 4 called on the outside corner. Here comes another run for turn 2. The bases stay loaded and the score goes 3-2. A 3-run bottom of the first inning for turn 2 as they went down 0-2. And suddenly the lead has shifted all the way back for Cole Ariacho at the plate. First baseman tonight. Fouled off into the backstop.
And we've seen turn 2 be very patient. Sometimes when you see a fast pitcher, you want to just try to swing for it. You don't really know what to do. Sometimes you're frantic. This team, they've come into this game so far, and even though they were down 2-0 before they even took the bats, they've been able to work their way into a good situation.
Another foul into the backstop there for Cole. Finally a pitcher's count for Eusebio. He's only had a couple of them in this bottom of the first. If you're the manager, you start thinking about how many pitches Eusebio can throw before you go to your next man up. If you're Eusebio, you just worry on keeping this at 3-2. Called strike 3 on the inside corner, and Eusebio will walk it back. The score stays at 3-2 with turn 2 taking the lead. We'll be back in just a moment from Field 4. Back for the top of the second, Pablo Palencia standing at the plate for the Lumber Kings, who've now lost their 2-run lead. It's 3-2. And the first pitch is a ball. I mean, here that first inning was kind of up and down already. It's more of the same from most of these games. 2-0 lead turns into a 3-2 deficit, and if you're the Lumber Kings, how do you lock back in?
You have to just trust your gut at this point. I think the biggest thing for you if you're the Lumber Kings is realize what you did in the first inning. You know, now you're at a point in the lineup where things seem to be evenly spread. So the game's going to seem even though you go from the top to the bottom, you still have somewhat of an advantage.
Small advantage here for the Turn2 side. Jacob Schubert still on the mound there for Turn2. We'll see how far he goes. Turn2 pretty scheduled out in terms of pitching. They know exactly what they want on that mound. For Schubert, it's all about the man at the plate. Pitch on the way. Taken upstairs for ball 4. There goes Pablo, cruising into first. Immediately a free base runner given up there. And the Lumber Kings have an opportunity to strike back as soon as they lost their own lead.
And I know I said earlier about how sometimes the best players, they get on base, it's not that bad because you know what they can do with extra bases, but at the same time, it's not a good way to start off this inning.
Marcelo Provencio drives one into deep center field. Turn2 is going to look all the way back, and it's over the center fielder's head. Here come the base runners around third base. He's going to come in and score, and that's going to be a stand-up triple for Marcelo. Unbelievable hit into deep center field. The second ball over the center fielder's head tonight. And it's a tie ball game here.
This is one of these games, Kevin, where a lot of these players are getting a lot of contact. They're sending it deep. Why not? I mean, you've got a 4-day weekend coming up. Go send that deep. Go be physical. And we're seeing that so far tonight. That's a good hit by Provencio, and he got the wheels to get to third as well.
Jared Siebel at the plate now. Opportunity to add to this now tied game. And Schubert needs to get out of this one fast. Pitch on the way. Swung on and missed on the outside corner.
But you can tell how the Lumber Kings, like you said earlier, Kevin, how do they get back into this one? Hey, trust your offense. You trust the fact that you have a lot of these players with you. You're now in the 4th week of this league. You know what to expect at this point.
Perhaps it was about rhythm for the Lumber Kings. We talked about how they've had a little of a struggle scoring runs. It has not been one so far tonight. 3 runs already. They've really only played 1 inning. No outs here in this top of the second. The scorecard says, hey, you've only played 1. Schubert's going to step off the mound here and reassess as he gets ready to throw his 1-1 pitch. Down and outside for a ball. Strike zone has seemingly changed as the extremely young game has progressed. That outside corner a little less reliable than it was at the top of the first. Here on the top of the second, it's changed. Swung on and grounded up to shortstop. That's an easy routine play for Turn2 over to first base, and that's the first out of the inning for Schubert and Turn2.
And a good play by Caden Boyle at short. He was coming in alongside Cameron Duggan to try to get that infield. They were going to eye home plate, Kevin, and it was a good idea by Provencio at third to just stay there overall. You've got the movement, you've got the momentum. You don't really need to force anything right now.
Benji Aranda drives one into left field, popped up easily for the left fielder. He'll get over and make the play, and here comes the runner all the way in, standing up at home plate, and the Lumber Kings have taken the lead 4-3.
Well, there you go. That's why you stay at third on the same plate. Easy sac fly. You're able to get into that area, and a lot of these guys have cannons, but at the same time, you have a good chance on making it towards home plate, as we saw there.
Provencio, not the fastest guy. My apologies, that ball got down in the left field. It's difficult to see over here as the runner goes. Throw not even made by the catcher. That's Aranda who just chugged into second base. He'll move up.
So all of a sudden, he's got himself in a scoring position, so you never know what you can do in this league, and we've seen the type of offensive prowess that a lot of these teams hold.
Dominic Ramirez swings and misses. At the changeup offering on the outside corner, lefty hitter here. Aranda looking to take third. Schubert knows it, making sure he stays on that base. Dominic Ramirez fouls this one into the back post. 1-2 count here. Only one down. 3-4 ball game. Lumber Kings have already taken it back into their own hands. Aranda on second. And the pitch on the way from Schubert. Checks his runner. Here it comes. Called strike 3 on the inside, hard of the plate. Schubert had him guessing. And Dominic Ramirez walks his way back to the dugout for the second out of the inning. And here comes Esteban Marin.
And Marin was the guy that started the rally for the Lumber Kings in the first, getting that walk, eventually making it all the way around the bases, as many of his fellow teammates got hits, got on base. 2 hits overall in the first for the Lumber Kings.
Marin watches one go outside for the first ball. But here we see Schubert checking Aranda at second base, making sure he stays on that bag. He knows how important it is to not let him advance to third. That's a sac fly that can become a 5-3 lead really quick. Marin stands in, and Schubert stands off.
That's the type of dominance you want to see, because Aranda's trying to make that run, but he realizes that he doesn't have the upper hand in this situation. It's Schubert.
Marin watches that one go high as a throw from the catcher keeps Aranda at bay, making sure he stays on the bag. It's all about Aranda right now. Schubert's thinking about it. His catcher, De La Riva, is thinking about it. That means Aranda's doing his job. And now it's up to Marin. 2-0 count. Pitch on the way. Outside ball 3. Open base on first. Stick on the inside. De La Riva couldn't keep hold of it, but Aranda stays at second, and the count goes to 3-1.
And that's a rough play there. Again, De La Riva and many of the catchers, they're going to be in a little bit of a rotation tonight, especially at first base and in the outfield turn 2. Big misplay.
Aranda with a huge step off of second base, but it doesn't matter. Ball 4 called on the outside. There goes Esteban Marin to first. Runners on first and second, and on the way is Kyle Neef. Opportunity to drive in his teammates. Make this lead just a little larger. As the pressure cranks up a little bit for Schubert. Fouled, out of play, into the bullpen for turn 2. Early strike. Schubert will take them when they come. Did that hit Kyle Neef? Perhaps the bat. It doesn't seem like Kyle thinks it hit him. The runners have advanced. It sounded like it did hit something. No foul ball, though. Only a ball called inside. 1-1, and the runners advanced on third and second. Now 2 runners in scoring position for Schubert. And a swing and a miss from Neef. 1-2.
We talked about the importance of 2-out rallies throughout our games here in the Wood Bat League, Kevin, and there's a lot of these just types of momentum swingers in these positions.
Ball called on the outside. That's a 2-2 count. Schubert trying to work his way into his third out. Keep the damage here to 2 runs, as the lead was already surrendered as quickly as it was taken. Runners on third and second. 2-2 count. Pitch on the way. Swung and lined into right field. That's going to get down, but it's caught by the right fielder of turn 2. A sliding catch, and we'll do it all over again. The bottom of the second coming up right after this from field 4. Bottom of the second from field 4. It's Andrew Gonzalez at bat for turn 2. 4-3 ball game. Lead lost as quick as it was gained. And still on the mound is Keith Asubio for the Lumber Kings. He'll have an opportunity to redeem himself after a 3-run bottom of the first. This first pitch on the way. Called strike. Here, that's what he wants to see.
Yeah, absolutely. And from the way this game has gone, Kevin, it feels like a game of pong. It's just going back and forth. You know, you react, now I react, you react, now I react, and something's got to stop at some point.
Another called strike there for Asubio. Gets out in front early, 0-2. Puts Andrew Gonzalez on his heels. Gonzalez will catch perhaps at some point tonight. We said every turn 2 pitcher has a designated catcher. You never know what could happen, though. Asubio on the 0-2 pitch, no outs. 3-pitch strikeout sends Andrew Gonzalez to the back, and Keanu Luakua on the way back. First at-bat of the night.
That was an interesting take by Gonzalez because he was almost stooping or lowering his body as the ball was coming in, and at points, if he didn't do that, that could have been a ball.
Keanu takes a called strike on the inside. Asubio moving extremely fast, knows momentum's on his side, 0-1 count. Lueka, the center fielder, it's been a rough night out in center for both teams. 0-1 pitch on the way. Swung on and cracked right to the shortstop, who jumps up and makes the grab. What a play on the diamond. Unbelievable for the second out as Asubio marches back to the rubber. That's 2 down for the Lumber Kings.
And Ramirez kind of saw that from the start. Eyes right towards the plate. Just makes a leaping grab up. And again, there are some points or plays in the games, Kevin, where it just seems seamless. That was one of those plays right there. He was able to read it, and it felt comfortable.
Shortstop has been where most of the defensive action has been on the infield for both teams tonight. We've seen a Jeter throw. We've seen that leaping grab. It's been good out there. Asubio deals his 1-0 pitch. Out to Russell Lopez, who takes a called strike. 1-1. Asubio's working on all fronts right now. Two down for Keith Asubio. Pitch on the way. Outside. Ball 2.
And Asubio's been getting back and forth, if you will. He's been trying to go down towards the zone, and that's something I talked about in the first inning, and he's found a little bit more creativity when it comes to throwing his pitches.
Asubio pitches on the outside. Called ball 3 there. 3-1 count. Tried to get ahead of it. Couldn't quite get it done. Three-one pitch from Asubio. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. Asubio 1 pitch away from getting out of this one scoreless. Three-two count. Keith Asubio sitting 92 on his fastball right now. Amped. Pitch on the way. Fouled off down the right field line. We'll do it one more time. Mahir, 92. That's pretty fast.
Yeah, it sure is. And if you're a batter in the turn 2 box, you just want to get some contact on that. And that's where it's almost like you see those challenges on social media, Instagram, TikTok, where it's almost like you see a fast pitch and you're just trying. You're kind of hustling to get to the bat.
Swing and a miss. Strike 3 for Asubio. A 1-2-3 inning after a 3-run first. Asubio will walk it back, and the Lumber Kings will take this one scorelessly. Top of the 3rd inning on the way after this. Top of the third, Anthony Aguilar at the plate. 4-3 ball game. And Schubert still on the mound. First pitch on the way. Taken outside for a ball. Aguilar struck out looking today, trying to get back on the board. Schubert still on the mound. He did it to him once. He throws a ball down low for his second.
I want to see the type of repertoire and type of push Schubert has in this game. We got some word that Eusebio's been pushing 92, and again, he hasn't been pushing a lot from his back foot. He isn't twisting that much. It's just straight from the arm, Kevin. So if you're Schubert, you kind of have to go to your repertoire, kind of have to deal your own way, and this is where your own creativity starts to really play a factor into the game.
Schubert's going to have to dig deep for this one. As the count goes even, 2-2, called strike on the outside corner. Aguilar looks at that one again. No outs. 2-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed upstairs. Another strikeout for Aguilar and one more for Schubert as well. One down.
Well, it seems like Schubert's at 100% after that one. Just fired that up towards the top of the strike zone. And again, a good swing. A lot of hard pitches today. And for two teams that are kind of towards the middle when it came to at least talent overall.
Nick Hill stands in at the plate now. You're right, Mahir. These are the games that matter. These will affect your seating heavily for both sides. You want to get up. As that's lined up the middle, that might make it. Play made, but not in time.
And again, that's a good throw over there. Good play by Cameron Duggan. Again, we've seen him try to play a pivotal role in that infield, rolling towards the left from our angle, his right, but it just couldn't get enough power, couldn't get enough distance to get to the first baseman. Otherwise, I think that would have been a ground out.
Schubert deals a strike. Nick Hill, a decent leadoff on first, threatens to steal. You're right, Mahir. Lots of work in that middle infield for both teams tonight. That's where most of the action has been. Runner goes, but that's fouled. He'll have to do it all over again. Slides into second, and he'll get the news that he has to walk it all the way back.
Again, a lot of these runners on the bases bustling tonight. They want to get towards second base. They want to get in a scoring position. And in the case of the Lumber Kings, you're in a position where you want to build on that lead, where the seesaw of runs has stopped for a while. So this is a good opportunity for you to break on a run. We've seen a lot of these momentum swingers where teams can go on a 2, 3, 4 run inning, and then all of a sudden the other team can't come back.
Pablo Palacios at the plate. Marcelo Provencio on deck. Pablo walked last time at the plate. Nick Hill looking to steal once again. We'll see if he goes. Pitch on the way, swung on and chopped down the line. That's going to spray on over foul. Nick Hill once again got a deep jump, and he'll once again have to walk it back. 2 strikes here for Pablo.
We've seen Schubert have a lot of attention towards whoever the runner is at second base. Benji Aranda, that was the case with him in the second inning where he was trying to get a jump from second, go towards third, and you could tell him and Schubert had a little bit of beef between the mound and second base. Let's see if he does that with the first.
Nick Hill goes. Here comes the throw. It's on the way. It's on line and not in time. Nick Hill steals second. That's a runner in scoring position. Ball taken outside in that equation. One down here in the top of the third. 1-2 count.
And they come into this one with a lot of interesting plays overall. They want to get back into the momentum swing that they were earlier in this season.
Pitch taken outside. Pablo now in a battle. 6th pitch of the at-bat in this 2-2 count. He's fouled off a few. Schubert squares up. Here's his pitch. Nick Hill goes on the base pass, and there's the throw, but it's not in time, and it's under the third baseman's legs. Here comes Nick Hill. He'll chug into home, and that's the tying run. 4-4 ball game here. And a walk as well for Pablo Palacios. He'll walk his way over to first. Or maybe not. Umpire might be signaling a full count here.
Yep, he's telling him to come back. How about Nick Hill, though, making his way around the bases, taking first and then stealing second, stealing third, and then making his way around home. That's some good base running. Just take out the little mistakes, take out the little intricacies you see from the defense and say, hey, here's the thing. We know what they're capable of. We know what they're not capable of. Let's go ahead and round the bases.
Just great base running there for Nick Hill. Like you said, Mahir, essentially forced a run on the board. Pablo stands in full count, swings and lines this one up to second. Play made easily, and the throw over to first is on time. 2 down for turn 2. It's Marcelo Provencio now at the plate for the Lumber Kings, trying to add to a lead that has grown to 2 runs. And Schubert trying to get out of this one as well. Swung on and fouled back. If Provencio reaches, it'll be Jared Siebel after that. And they'll try to add to this growing tally of runs.
If you're Provencio here, you don't have anybody on the base path, so you can, if you want to, get into more space and maybe just bloop it in for a single. You don't have to go too try-hard here.
Provencio hit a stand-up triple in his last at-bat. Might be the definition of a batting try-hard, you could say, Mahir. Knows exactly how to get around those bases. Only one away from scoring it on his own. He might try to just do that here as he lines that one up high and in the air to right field. The catch is made, and we'll go to the bottom of the third. 3-5, Lumber Kings up. Bottom of the third here. Eusebio still on the mound, and Coy Miller up to bat for his first time tonight. Lumber Kings added a run in the top of the third, and the lead stretches to 2. It's a 5-3 ball game.
Got to be impressed with what we've seen from Eusebio so far. Working his middle section on the mound, and now he'll step up to it. Has a lot of torque. He'll have to use it down the stretch here.
Eusebio ready to deal his first. It's a fastball, fouled back. That fastball has life, Mahir. We've mentioned it a couple times. It's been clocked at 92. I wouldn't be surprised if he's touched a little higher than that tonight. That's 2 games in a row on the Woodbat broadcast where we've seen 92 from a pitcher. Fastball outside, called for a strike. Subio went up 1-2-3 and down 1-2-3 in the previous inning. He's already up in a 2-0 count. Pitch on the way. Swing on and miss. 1 down for the Lumber Kings. Nasubio's right back in it.
He absolutely is, Kevin, and you can tell from the way he's pitching right now, he is in the zone. He's finding his spaces. He's centered his zone down. He's centered his box. He knows where the pitch is going. He knows where it's going. It's nearly 100% accurate.
That's another strike in the box there. Swung on and missed. It's David Roboloth at the plate. One already down here for Subio. Moving fast. As he throws his first ball of the inning. That's down low.
A game like this, Kevin, for both sides can bring a lot of defensive and offensive stability. Lumber Kings with 60 runs against, or 60 runs allowed, I should say. That's 10th in the league overall.
Called strike on the outside corner. It's 1-2. Here, these are the games that can make or break a season. Everyone makes the playoffs in the Woodbat League. Everyone will have an opportunity. You fight for seeding, possible buys and whatnot. It is a 23-team league. That leaves one odd team out. Time called for by Roboloth. He's already down 1-2 in the count. Subio ready to work. This pitch is going to come fast, and it does. 1-2 pitch on the way. Swung on and fouled off. We'll do it one more time.
That's just an ideal of getting into open space and trying to work that count. David Roboloth trying to do it here.
Subio. Pitch on the way. Did he go? No, he didn't. Signal down to the first base umpire. Didn't quite go all the way around. Roboloth takes ball 2.
Just a case of the elbow, the nub of the bat getting out. And that's probably where you could protrude the zone a little bit.
Nasubio, strike 3 called at the knees. Roboloth will walk back. Second strikeout of the inning there for Subio. 2 down, bottom of the 3rd.
6th strikeout on the night for Subio. He's gotten into some sort of rhythm, especially in these innings where in the first inning we saw him really just try to feel out the game for a little while. He was allowing 3 runs, trying to get his command down. Now he's fully locked in. Back-to-back strikeouts. It's helping.
Ethan Reich takes a strike at the knees on the outside corner as well. Subio's working fast me here. This tempo is up. No time to spare if you're in the box. Reich just has a moment to tap the plate. And Subio will pitch his 0-1. Looping curveball, first off speed, probably all inning. Call for a strike as well on that upper outside corner.
Ethan Reich at the top of the order on what is a very big lineup today. 14 for turn 2.
0-2 count. Subio deals. Swung on and missed. That's 3 up and 3 down. 3 strikeouts for Subio. We'll go to the top of the 4th after this. top of the 4th inning here from field 4. It'll be Jared Siebel at the plate. Schubert still on the mound through 4 for turn 2. Siebel stands in for his first pitch of the inning. Ball on the inside.
Taking a look at the turn 2 dugout and even the bullpen, they're expected to play 3, possibly 4 pitchers today. As I mentioned earlier in the first inning, no acting manager in the dugout, so it's really just Caden Boyle. He was kind of the guy giving the reps and giving the news to a lot of people, so this is a team that kind of has to collectively decide on their infield visits to make the decision to pull Schubert.
Schubert on the 1-1 count. Deals a fastball down low, called for a ball. Eventually becomes about fatigue, Mahir.
Yeah, it definitely does, and I think the bigger thing to that is the fact that you had 2 runs allowed in the first, 2 runs in the second, and 1 run in the third. So it's gotten better, technically speaking.
It has, as that's popped up down the right field line. Could go out of play, and it will, into the bullpen. 2-2 count there for Schubert. He'll take the strike. You're right, Mahir. There's been a little bit of scoring in every inning. He's tried to limit the contact. Last inning was better. The pace has picked up, but he's still looking for that scoreless inning to keep his team in it. It's a 5-3 ball game. 2-run deficit for turn 2. And Siebel will look to add. 2-2 pitch on the way. Outside, full count.
Pretty simple take here. If you're Siebel, just see the pitch rolling down, you make the play.
Full count pitch on the way from Schubert. It's outside on that corner, and Siebel will trot his way to first base for the first base runner of the inning. And Benji Aranda, who's already given this turn 2 team a few issues tonight on the base pass, marches his way up to home plate. He's up next.
First half inning for the Lumber Kings that did not start off with an out too, so you can tell Schubert losing some sort of command from just a pattern perspective. But nonetheless, we've seen a lot of walks in this game, and now you're back with Aranda, who had a little flare out towards the left field line. We thought it was originally a sac fly. Eventually dropped down, he got a single, and he was able to make his way and wreak some havoc on the bases.
Schubert gets a called strike at the knees there on Aranda. Siebel with an ample lead off first. Nothing to worry about right now. 0-1 count. Down low, ball 1. I don't know if you noticed me here. Schubert doesn't check the runner at all on first base. Not one look over. Even in his pre-pitch routine. There's no stretch for him. It's a 2-1 count. That'll go past the backstop for turn 2. And Siebel will march his way into second with a little help from a pass ball. Runner in scoring position, no outs.
Pretty easy too for Siebel because he's trying to make that lead off from first. A lot of aggressive, I should say, running tonight from the Lumber Kings. So they want to come in and try to assert their dominance here and try to piece some things together.
That's Rigstrap behind the dish for turn 2. Let that one get below his knees. 3-1 count. And Schubert walks another. Runners on first and second.
You know, I was talking to one of the POs for Lumber Kings pregame, and you know, a lot of people were asking him, "Is your team good?" And we're like, and he was like, "Hey, we're pretty good," but in the sense we've just lost a lot of games and they've been close overall. As it looks like Schubert will get his calling order here.
On the way, it should be Kayla McCrae. Looks like the catching assignment won't change. It'll stay Rigstrap behind the plate. They'll give an opportunity for McCrae to warm up. Much taller guy. Trying to see if he can quiet down the bats, although it hasn't been the bats that have allowed these runners on the bases, Mihir.
Yeah, it definitely hasn't. It's just been the ability to get some takes, get some ideas, and most importantly, just get some walks. And I think we're starting to see the mistakes pile up, especially for turn 2, Kevin, in the way that we're starting to see some pass balls. We're starting to see some throws that are a little bit off target. It's just those minuscule areas. Sometimes it's macro, sometimes it's micro. But the way that turn 2 has handled this game, it feels like they could do better.
We'll be back in just a moment. After McCray finishes his warm-up, it's the top of the fourth, 5-3 Lumber Kings lead. We'll be back in a moment. And we're back. McCray on the mound, warm and ready to go. Still no outs in this top of the fourth. He'll have to pitch out of a jam. Schubert comes out of the game with 5 earned runs, pitches just 3 innings, can't secure an out in the fourth. And that's roped into left field. That might just be a single. It gets down. The runner will test the arm. Here comes the throw into home. It's on time, but it's not in line. Another run scores for Lumber. That's 6-3 as the lead grows to 3.
And again, like I said, Kevin, before we went to break, just small details overall. That's a good relay towards home, but the fact that just a little bit off, even though the runner was a little bit behind, had that throw been on target, he probably would have been out. Just little things like that, and we're seeing the Lumber Kings start to extend their lead because they've been afforded these opportunities.
Dominic Ramirez belted that single. It got down. Not enough room for him to get to another bag. As McCray throws a strike in there. But it was enough to score a run. Esteban Marin stands in at the plate now. Swung on and missed. And a quick 2-strike count here for McCray.
And that too, it's hard to get into a position where you have guys on the bags, and McCray here already working ahead of the count. Now he can see what he can deal with when he's in a comfortable position.
Couple pitches to play with. 0-2 count. Swung on and fouled out to the backstop. Swung on and missed. McCray sends his first one down. On the way to the plate is Kyle Neef.
Interesting pitch thrown, in my opinion, from McCray. He wasn't really leaning into it. He was just kind of standing up and decided to throw it, and hey, it ended up working. Whatever floats your boat, right?
Whatever floats the boat. That one I'd say does. Marin gets sent down. Neef gets sent up. Strike on the outside corner. McCray has everything working here.
Yeah, he definitely has, and I think it's even throwing the batters off, much like ourselves, the way he's pitching right now. A little unorthodox, but he's getting the job done.
Doesn't need to be orthodox to get the job done. Second pitch lands just on the inside of the plate. It's a long looping motion for McCray. Not the same speed we've been seeing all night from both pitchers beforehand. 1-1 pitch on the way. Fouled out. That was a little bit of a quick pitch action there, Mihir.
Yeah, it definitely was. Just floated it towards the top of the zone, and Cal Neef, after getting on base the last 2 times, or rather a single in the first and a fly out to right, feels like he has to grab into his bag for a while and try to get on base here and maybe bat some runs.
Swings are a little late. 1-2 pitch. Here it comes. Swung on and lined through the gap between first and second. The runners will advance and the runner will come home. Here comes the throw all the way over to third. It's not going to make it. Cut off by the shortstop. And another run for the Lumber Kings score. 7-3.
And again, you talk about a lot of these guys rolling around the bases. They did it right there, Kevin, the way that they're able to just work around the clock and just work themselves into those positions. That wasn't a big swing off the bat from Neve, but it ended up getting the job done.
Brent Rigstrap, the catcher, now stands in. Both runners that can be charged to Schubert have scored. His line will total up to 7 earned runs, and now every one of the paths belongs to McCray. One down. And a foul into the backstop, 1-1.
The way I describe this Lumber Kings team so far is just seamless. You know, and I think Isubio might be the biggest example of it on the mound, but even from this offense too. They're making this game look easy, whether it's Schubert, whether it's McCray. They're finding ways to really exploit this turn 2 defense.
Rigstrap belts that one high and foul. Count will float 2-2. Opportunity once again for here. Needed a baseball there for a moment, ran out of them. You have coaches running, going to get baseballs. That foul ball went over the pole. Everyone just scrambling to get a few. Watch just 5 fly in from 5 different directions there.
Yeah, might as well distribute the balls while you're at it here.
And we're ready to go. Rigstrap at the plate. Runners on first and third. Swung on and lined out to second base. The play is made. Here goes 1. Here goes 2. Not in time. 1 runner out at second, but at first base, just not there. Another run scores. 3-8 Lumber Kings.
Yeah, and again, you can look at the double play. You can look at a guy like Duggan who was just trying to lean back a little bit. Didn't really step into it. He was able to get the out at second, but again, we haven't seen too many double plays in this league, Kevin, and that's where sometimes it's not just the pitchers who need the heat, it's the infielders, the outfielders, it's everybody, and that's how you work your way up.
Popped up and deep into the infield. Catch is made, and we'll go to the bottom of the 4th in just a moment. Bottom of the fourth. A big inning for the Lumber Kings. 8-3. And a new man on the mound, Darrell Figueroa, replaces Keith Esubio after a super effective night, Mahir.
Yeah, absolutely. And now if you're the Lumber Kings, you have that advantage. You might as well take advantage of it and maybe keep up the momentum from what we saw there from the new pitcher, the new guy on the mound, Darrell Figueroa. Again, another right-handed pitcher, much like Esubio.
They'll go 2 righties tonight. Figueroa throwing a little softer than Esubio was. More full body throwing motion. 1-1 count here. Just trying to keep his team afloat and secure this win. That comes inside.
Hard to have two guys in the same game, let alone on the same squad that can throw 92-mile-per-hour heaters. But nonetheless, Figueroa, I feel like he's feeling the same way as Esubio, just trying to feel his way into this game.
Ball on the outside. Mahir, you pointed to it. It's hard to have 292s, but that change of pace could help Figueroa here. His slowing pitching could kind of change up the pace. It felt like Esubio didn't throw anything but the fastball most of the time. As that pitch is fouled back, full count here. There wasn't really an opportunity to see an off-speed from Esubio.
Yeah, there definitely wasn't, and it kind of caught some guys by surprise when you're not swinging at what feels like you're bludgeoning your way through.
Full count pitch on the way. That's taken inside for ball 4. And immediately a base runner for Figueroa that he now has to navigate and try to keep that runner on. It's been a story all night. Base runners all over the paths.
You look at a guy like Caden Rue, who just picked up the walk there, got on base with the walk in the first inning, and then rounded his way around towards home.
Caden Boyle now, not Caden Rue, at the plate. The Caden's bat back-to-back. As that goes off the arm guard there. And immediately we have both Cadens on the base paths.
Just a quick change right there, and you can tell that you have a lot of guys like Figueroa just try to ease their way into this one. And sometimes you just have to find the type of positions, the type of shots that you want to see. And that was the case with Esubio.
Tanner Carlson stands in and takes a ball there. Lots of work behind the dish now for anyone who's catching for the Lumber Kings. Has been a tough night on both sides. But now you have to be extra careful, Mahir. That open base on third isn't so open. That's pretty much a run with no outs. And that one gets past the backstop. Here come the runners as they chug into third and second. It's the mistakes, Mahir. It's not being as sharp. These are the moments that add runs on the board. But this time, it's the Lumber Kings giving up these opportunities that they haven't given up so far.
Yeah, and this is where Brenton Reichrup, the catcher, he's just talking with Figueroa, try to get into some sort of a rhythm too, because that's an important partnership, Kevin, to try to get that from the mound to home plate. And again, we've seen the way that mistakes have really kind of cost Turn2 at points, really shot them in the leg, and Lumber Kings don't want the same thing to happen to them, especially too. They're up by 5. They've got what should be a reasonable lead, but you never know.
Now it's on Rigstrap to keep the runner on third at third. As ball 3 sails in, it's a 3-0 count for Figueroa. He's frustrated, slaps his leg on his glove and realizes that this is getting a little dicey. The lead is only 5. That open base on first doesn't look so open with no outs. 3-0 pitch on the way. Called strike on the inside corner.
That's something for Figueroa's confidence there. You know, the first walk you give up, that's a full count walk. Now you're in a position where you got the walk, but at the same time, you got to think about the positives. You got 2 strikes out of that.
Pitch on the way. Popped up. And here it comes down. It'll be fair. And the catch is made. The runners will stay. 1 out goes on the board. We'll do it all over again.
Again, another good catch. Have a lot of guys playing first base. It's Benji Aranda who's there to make that. And again, another interesting note that Figueroa rolling off his mound, trying to make the catch We saw Eusebio make one just like that a few innings ago.
Aranda steps up. Make sure that one comes down for an out. Almost lost it in the lights. Here comes Figueroa. Ball taken down low. Another ball outside for Jesus de la Riva. He's had his moments in this game. This just feels like an opportunity here for Turn 2 to climb back in this one. This game's not over. We talk about the time limit a lot, but it feels like there's at least 2 innings left in this game. Figueroa trying to find the strike zone for the first time in 5 pitches, and he goes outside again, 3-0.
He's trying to hit that spot, and you can tell he's a bit frustrated there. He wants to go there. The strike is not as big as it was in the first and second inning. Got to find a way to get the command.
3-0 pitch on the way. Swung on and missed. It's the first swinging strike for Figueroa all inning. Fired in for strike 2, and the count goes full.
Interesting pitch there. Trying to work it towards the inside. Instead, gets it towards that area. A little bit of rough play there by de la Riva.
Figueroa will take a moment to step off the mound, prepare for his full count pitch here. Runners on second and third. It's de la Riva at the plate. Figueroa sets and fires. Inside for ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
A little bit angry of himself after a pitch. Not sure Kings are supposed to only have 2 pitchers tonight, so they're not having as deep of a bullpen compared to Turn 2, who's got 4 in the bank. So I would say it's just about really try to get the command down. At the same time, you can, if you want to. You don't want to, but if you have to, we saw what happened with Eusebio. 3 runs allowed in the first, able to find his command. That was kind of the overall first inning, got his feet wet, got himself into the game, and then the command ensued. Bottom of the 4th here, and you would think, in my opinion, Figueroa's got to think the same thing as well, that you got to trust your process, trust your seams, trust your positions, and you could get something to go your way.
It feels like a lot of responsibility falls on Brent Rigstrap's shoulders here, not only to keep the runner at third and make sure no balls go between his legs, but you want Figueroa to just calm down and grow into the moment. He's been frustrated visibly on the mound. It's all about taking a deep breath and getting back in this one. It'll be Cameron Duggan at the plate. Bases loaded, 1 down. First pitch on the way. Called strike on the outside corner. That's what he wants to see me here.
Yeah, and he's able to rake, getting it towards the right-hand side of your screen.
Foul back into the backstop. Quick 0-2 count for Figueroa. Should the runners move, it'll be Caden Rue on third. Caden Boyle on second. Here comes the pitch. Blocked well by Rigstrap.
We've seen Turn 2 start to adjust themselves towards this more off-speed, but more than just off-speed, just less velocity. And it can play some mind tricks, but they've been able to get to it.
Swung on and grounded out to second base. That'll be an easy out at first, but another run scores. As finally Turn 2 is back in the game. It's an 8-4 ball game. But Figueroa gets that second out, Mahir.
Yeah, that's important for both sides, and I think it's more important for the Lumber Kings too, that the fact that you don't have the tying run to the plate at this point. You still have a 4-run advantage, and this is more of a marathon from the way you look at it. You have roughly about 20-25 minutes left in this game presumably. So you have to find some ways to just make it through at this point. Your offense has done the work. Now it's just about you kind of waiting away to get through the inning.
It'll be A.J. Stone at the plate. He takes ball one up above his head. Now there really is an open base on first with 2 outs. It's foul. And suddenly Figueroa is 1 strike away from getting out of this with pretty much the least that you could ask for. With a deep breath, Figueroa sets and prepares to deal his 1-2 pitch. It's fouled back, and we'll do it again.
You can tell that both sides are eager to get out of this inning, at least for the Lumber Kings, and then turn 2. They got 2 guys in scoring position. That could change momentum easily as well. And you got turn 2 as well. You've got a player on first and a player on third when it comes to coaching, too.
Swung on and grounded out to the pitcher. Here comes Figueroa. Soft, easy, and out at first base. He escapes with minimal damage. The score moves to 8-4, but the Lumber Kings stay in front. We'll be back for the next right after this. Anthony Aguilar will take the plate as we start this top of the 5th. Likely our last inning of action here from field 4. As the clock hits 9:13, it's on McCray to get out of this one in a timely manner. This first pitch on the way, swung on and missed. We've talked about that motion. It's not what we've been used to all night.
Yeah, and I think it's the biggest thing for the Lumber Kings is just try to see this one out, because you're in an interesting predicament, because you can kind of run this inning out as you will, and then as long as you do a good enough job of keeping turn 2 at bay the next half inning, you can get out. It'll be a final of 5, and you could say happy 4th of July with a nice long weekend ahead.
All teams looking at a break. July 4th through July 8th, they'll enjoy a nice setback in the action as that pitch goes inside. All-Star game on July 13th as well, held at Chandler Gilbert Community College at 7:30 p.m. We'll be there broadcasting it as well. The best and brightest from the Woodbat League on the way. As is the pitch as it's swung and grounded out to short, and here comes the throw. just in time. 1 down.
Another good play, another good infield stop by turn 2. That can already swing momentum your way. Just take something from this game and bring it on to the next one.
It's all on McCrea's shoulders to keep this one a 4-run game. Figueroa was having issues last inning. Opportunity to break it open as that's popped up straight into the infield over his second base, and the catch is made. 2 down.
That helps McGray after a while. Just get yourself back into rhythm. You got 2 quick early outs. Again, something that we've talked about before, that the Wood Bat League, the reason why it only goes 7 innings is because a lot of these pitchers need their rest. A lot of these pitchers are kind of short-handed overall in this league, and arms are a big thing in this organization and throughout the Valley. So you want them to be fresh. You want them to take things from one step to the other.
It'll be Pablo Palacios at the plate as he swings and fouls that one back. Once again, fatigue, name of the game, but you can feel there's a little bit of a tank emptying occurring in this game. Lots of these guys throwing as much as they can, knowing there's a break right after this. As that's lined, that'll find a gap down there in right field. A quick single for Palacios. McCray watched that one fly over his head. And a 2-out single for the Lumber Kings.
We knew Palacios was going to try to come into this game and make a difference. First hit of the day, something of his confidence that he can take into the next game. Batting as an extra hitter tonight, so he's kind of in the middle/back part of the lineup. Got to deliver in a position like that.
Pass ball for turn 2. A slow run back. And had Palacios thinking, hey, maybe I should go for 3. He'll hold up at second. It's Marcelo Provencio at the plate as he watches that ball go straight into the dirt. With an important opportunity to add to a lead that might not be so safe going into the bottom of the 5th. Called strike on the outside.
And Provencio today, he definitely showed the wheels. A triple in the second, get some runners home, get himself in a good position.
Provencio popped up into foul territory. Here comes a run, and the catch isn't made. A collision on the left-hand side of the field, but it looks like everyone's okay.
Yeah, and that's where you have to really call yourself off there. Whoever's catching right now, again, Jesus De Silva, or rather, Jesus De La Riva started the game, and then Andrew Gonzalez could have taken over. That's where you have to really call yourself out and kind of have to make the call yourself. And we've seen a lot of these pitchers in that regards for Lumber Kings, and now even today with catchers make that run out there. Didn't seem like a very lot of communication. Not much communication in general.
Swung on and missed there. And he'll go down swinging. A quick inning for turn 2, and they'll try to turn this clock all the way back. A comeback inning on the way. Here comes the bottom of the 5th. the bottom of the 5th here from Field 4 at Salt River Fields. Devin Duke leading a charge, trying to have a comeback win. It's 8-4 Lumber Kings. Likely our last shot at action here. Figueroa stands still on the mound, fires in a strike. Mahir, that's what he wants to see. Getting in that zone early, he struggled to find it last inning.
Yeah, and he's still trying to find those same positions as well. Let's see if he can finite his options.
Another strike called there.
Definitely sharpening the different tools he has in his repertoire. You can tell he's a little bit more confident after that half inning just a moment ago.
Same with the Subio. It looks like Figueroa works a little faster when he gets up in that count, watches a ball spray far out on the plate. It's a 1-2 count. And the count goes even. Devin Duke fouls that one into the backstop. 4 runs to tie, 5 runs to take the lead and win in this bottom of the 5th. Ties are allowed in the Wood Bat League. They can't get that 9th run over the plate. In the event they get to that 8, this game will just end as that goes inside, and the count goes full for Figueroa and Duke.
And another ideal of Figueroa trying to sustain himself throughout the entire AB to make sure he's throwing the right stuff.
It'll be a free base there for Devin Duke. He'll take that walk. After battling from an 0-2 count quickly, Figueroa watches that one fly by. There's a runner on first. And now it's Cole Ariacho. Devin Duke only had his 2nd at-bat of the game there, just indicative of how long this Turn 2 lineup is. He walked in his first, and he'll walk in that 2nd.
He took the bats. It was towards the back half of that bottom first. Struck out looking, like you said, and then afterwards, Subio really just turned on the Jets. Able to just log strikeouts throughout. 7 Ks in the night before bowing out of this one.
Figueroa will try to replicate that. It's off to a rocky start. 2-0 count here for Ariacho. Hasn't had to swing the bat. Look at Duke threatening. Now it's 2-1. Not fielded at first. They'll get the lead runner. Devin Duke will march back to the dugout, but Cole Ariacho will leg out a fielder's choice. 1 down, but a runner stays at first base, and Figueroa will have to do it all over again.
Yeah, and you get 1 out. It was kind of interesting. He went towards second, but it's a smart move knowing that you can take a guy out of scoring position. An interesting double play. That would have been something. That would have been 1-6-3 double play on the scorebook. It would have been crazy.
That would have been a good one. And it wasn't too far off time. Andrew Gonzalez will take the plate here. He'll watch that one go down low. Gonzalez, in his last at-bat, if I remember correctly, Mahir, had an issue of sort of crouching down low and having strikes get stolen from him because he's just leaning into the zone. Did the same thing there, but watch it call a ball. He did it again, and it's called a strike.
And that's something that they will see the film on this game, and they'll have to tell him to try to keep your zone over out. I think he's trying to see those down, and he's probably thinking they're going to be balls. They've probably been balls in the past, so it's something he's used to seeing, something he's added towards his practice. Just not working tonight.
1-2 count here for Gonzalez. Swung on that one and missed. Held back his bat. They won't check with the umpire. Count goes even, 2-2. Ariacho standing at first. Not a big lead. Knows it's all about the runner at the plate, and so does Figueroa. Squares up his 2-2 pitch. Strike 3 called on the outside. 2 go down for Figueroa, and they're 1 out away from a victory against Turn 2.
And another ideal for Gonzalez where he struck out looking, deciding to just see this one out. Now this one was going towards the outside rather than down and towards the inside, but it's been some interesting looks today from Gonzalez.
Feels like that strike zone has widened back out. Keanu Leweka steps to the plate. Watch that one on the outside corner get called a strike. And fouls that one back into the backstop. It's quickly an 0-2 count. And Turn 2 is officially against the ropes. Figueroa working fast. Small round of claps from the crowd. Figueroa sets and fires his 0-2 just off the plate, and will do it all over again.
Trying to go out big here. It would be nice to get his second strikeout of the day.
Figueroa looking for just that. The pitch on the way. Called strike 3 on the outside corner, and that won't be the game. Figueroa gets out of this one quick enough that we'll go to the top of the 6th, and they won't call a time limit. We'll be back right after this. Does your business have trash? Are you paying high-cost hauling fees that often cut into your own profits? Smash My Trash serves their customers and their communities by compacting waste in open-top dumpsters. Their proprietary service crushes and reduces waste volume, saves your business money, and cuts down on harmful greenhouse gas emissions. Begin your smashing journey tonight at smashmytrash.com. Top of the 6th inning here. There's an opportunity for this game to be wrapped up, but the Lumber Kings get out of it just in time with 5 minutes to spare, and this will certainly be it. New men on the mound for turn 2. It's Christian Avery and Reich behind the dish. They switch catchers with the pitchers as Avery fires his first ball of his outing. That ball goes wide, trying to stretch a lead. Figueroa really settled in at the end of that 5th inning. Felt like it might have been the end of the night for him. Might have been a little too good there, though, Mahir.
Yeah, a lot of good options. Then again, you need something to try to weigh down the pace of the Lumber Kings.
Avery fires a strike, first of his outing. 2-1 count. After Siebel, it'll be Aranda. Aranda's had a good game, a couple good defensive plays, some havoc on the paths. He'll want to get up and at there quickly. My apologies. Benji Aranda at the plate currently. Avery fires, and that's popped up straight to first base, calling off his defenders. And it'll come down for the first out of the inning. Turn 2, take 1 down.
That's a good way for Avery to try to get into this game. Try to see this one out because you're running against the clock. It is 9:30 right now, so whenever turn 2 gets a ball, it will be the last inning of the game, regardless of what happens, win, lose, or tie. You want to try to get some momentum. They're within striking distance. They're down by 4. Could have some options.
It'll be Dominic Ramirez at the plate. A little conversation with the umpire after that. He's played a pretty good shortstop job today. It's where most of the action defensively has come A few plays at second as well for both teams. Most of the middle infield working all night. So Ramirez swings on, fouls that one out. 0-2 count here for Avery. Trying to work his team, do a scoreless inning, give them an opportunity to bring themselves back into this game for a tie or a win. It's important for both teams. The standings are pretty tight. 0-2 pitch on the way. And it hits Ramirez. He'll take his base. Here comes Esteban Marin.
And again, it's just the idea of you're now in a point where the game is kind of drawing to a close. It's kind of lulling as well. So it's just more or less you want to have that mental capacity. You want to have that fortitude. You don't really need to use it, but sometimes the fortitude could just mean being present in the moment.
Quick talk there from Ethan Reich. He'll go and circle back. Tell Christian Avery, hey, one more thing. Might be a little bit of pitch sequencing going on that mound. Regardless, the man at the plate doesn't change. That's Marin. 2 walks and a swinging strikeout today for him. Pretty patient eye. Lost on that third at bat. See if he can move Ramirez forward. Runner goes. There's the throw from Reich. It's on line and just not in time. Ramirez steals second. And a pretty good throw from Ethan Reich. Just not enough speed on that one. Swinging strike as well. Christian Avery fires a strike. Long pre-pitch sequence here, trying to hold Ramirez on the bag.
You would think Marin would want to get some sort of hit. He's got 2 walks today, struck out swinging. Wants to go into the long weekend with something good.
Runner goes. Reich loses the ball. It bounces off his chest protector. Ramirez cruises into third, stand up. And just like that, a hit by pitch turns into a double steal. And 90 feet away is the 9th run of the Lumberjacks game.
And it just goes back to what I said earlier. Mistakes, mistakes, mistakes.
Reich
struggle with that.
Good block there from Reich. Trying to limit those mistakes here. Make sure that everything stays in check. Limit what he can. Count has gone even at 2-2. And that goes inside and hits Marin. He swings the bat at the ground. Gets a little close to Reich there. Umpire points it out, gives him a quick word, but we have runners on the corners with 1 out.
And again, for Marin and many others, you get on base, just a little nice knack, if you will. 8-4 game right now. You can tell the Lumber Kings want to get some sort of momentum when it comes to winning some of these games and the type of offensive production they've put out. They beat Marucci Stingol 11-10 on June 26th. Beat AZ Pro 10-9 on July 1st. So they've been known for having a lot of offensive games, a lot of high-scoring games, but they've been able to get the offense high-flying when it matters.
Kyle Neef avoids another hit by pitch there. That's 2 in the inning for Avery. He has runners on the corners because of it. That one drops below the zone. 2-0 count.
If you're Neve, too, it's just about getting on base, realizing where you are, too, because run differential does matter in this league, Kevin, and we've seen before from Lumber Kings that they've been in positions where they've played well, and then sometimes the results just don't speak for itself, and today they're able to get something back in their momentum, back in their ways, turn something the other side.
Reich goes out for another talk with Avery. Robert Manfred won't yell at him for that mound visit. Second of the 6th inning for turn 2. Avery sets and gets ready to fire his 2-0 pitch. Swung on and popped up It'll stay in the infield. Here comes the ball. It's caught, it's out, and that's 2 down for turn 2. Brent Ridgestrap at the plate here. Man behind the dish for the Lumber Kings. Watches that one go inside, and that ball gets behind Reich. Here comes the runner on third, and another runner scores. Both runners advance. One up to second, one to home, and the score is now 9-4 Lumber Kings.
Another instance where we see just itty-bitty things. A hit by pitch leads to another hit by pitch. You just round the bases, a pass ball, and then there you go. Another run scored.
Felt like that was bound to happen. Reich was battling pretty much this entire inning behind the plate, trying to save everything that goes into the dirt. The plate. And he'll wear that one on his shoulder as well. The third hit by pitch of the inning for Christian Avery.
Not what you want here, and not the type of momentum you want to take into the long weekend. And you look at the type of events coming up, Kevin, with the fact that you have Thursday and Friday off. You have relatively a long week. A lot of teams will be playing upwards of 4 games next week. All-Star game on July 13th, and then you got one more week, and then all of a sudden it's the playoffs. So this season moves very quickly, and at the same time, if you're turn 2, you got to be able to turn the other way and get something in your favor.
Another ball gets past Reich. No throw. He'll hold the ball. Runners on third and second as both advance. Marin will stand on third. Ridgestrap will stand on second. And Anthony Aguilar stays at the plate with an opportunity to drive in 2 of his teammates. Reich keeps that one in front of him. Mahir just battling in the dirt. Most of these pitches falling right in front of his chest. It's never easy to be a catcher in this position. Everything falls on him now to keep that runner from third 90 feet away. 2-0 count. Avery stands to deliver. Pitch on the way. Taken upstairs, 3-0.
And this moment, too, is just about the relationship between pitcher and catcher, and it goes back to the fact that some of these players have never seen each other. They've never played with each other before this time.
And again, a free base given up by Christian Avery. The bases are now loaded with 2 down in the top of the 6th. But here now it's just about limiting the damage. It's 9-4. You had an opportunity to go to the bottom of the 6th with only 4 runs to grab a tie, and now this game could be broken even wider open.
Yeah, and it kind of shows how Turn 2 has really shot themselves in the foot today, where they're trying to get out, and sometimes the talent has not matched, I should say, what the product wants to be tonight.
It'll be Nick Hill with an opportunity to drive in his teammates. Bases loaded, 2 outs. And Christian Avery will make another hit by pitch. Here come the runners. Marin from third scores. It's 10-4 Lumber Kings. Not even a chance there, Mahir. Not even a chance.
Yeah, not even in the way that if you're the head coach for Lumber Kings, just about tacking it on. This one is dragging out like molasses right now. You want this to, I think a lot of people, especially Turn 2, want this game to end. At the very least, just get it to the bottom of the 6th. But you know what? Might as well ride the wave.
Reich keeps that one in front of him. Story of the inning so far. Figueroa kind of getting iced here. And an opportunity to build on his momentum from the bottom of the 5th. Worked through it pretty quickly. Instead, Christian Avery with 2 outs has loaded the bases once again. And another ball outside and in the dirt. At this point, do you just give them something to hit?
You might as well, and I think Ethan Reich would like it too. He's leaning towards his right. It's made it very clinical right now. If I'm Ethan Reich, I'm committing that to memory at this point.
If I'm Reich, I'm just setting up outside the plate. Swung on and popped up. That's lined into left field. Here comes the catch. It's made. We'll head to the bottom of the 6th right after this. Bottom of the 6th in this final stanza of action between the Lumber Kings and Turn 2. It's Russell Lopez at the plate with an opportunity to get a little rally going. It's 10-4 Lumber Kings with a strike generously given on that outside corner by the umpire.
Yeah, kind of a telltale sign of this game. So many different looks we've seen so far, and as these catchers go into the latter part of these games, the latter part of these stretches, it's about maintaining composure. It's about maintaining your physical health as well, because you have so many guys that are just willing to just step back for a while and maybe just let this one vibe out. And on the other side, you have a long weekend ahead. So, I mean, we've talked about it before, that the fact that a lot of these guys are playing 3 games in 3 days. So you want to make the most of it.
Yes, you do. As a ball foreign is given by Figueroa. That's the first base runner of the inning for Turn 2. Lopez will trot his way over to first. It's Coy Miller up next, trying to keep this rally going. A young rally at that, but no outs. Slider taken outside for ball 1.
We've talked this lineup before, Kevin, and the most interesting thing I'm seeing is that Turn 2, a lot of these guys have only seen 2 at-bats during the day. Lumber Kings on the other side, you got guys going 3 or 4.
This is Coy Miller's second at-bat of the night. He's struck out once, and he hasn't seen the plate since. It's been a while. Opportunity to get back in good graces. This bottom part of the order got mowed down by Asubio earlier as a called strike comes in. Trying to change that around as Asubio really chewed this part up. Strike 3 called on the inside. That's the first of the inning for Figueroa. 1 goes down. Coy Miller will walk back to the dugout.
And to your point earlier, Kevin, I think the biggest thing is when you're sitting back in that dugout, the fact that you have 13 other players in the lineup. You got 14 for Turn 2. Luckily, I got 16 players on my score sheet. So you got a little bit of wiggle room, but at the same time, we've talked about this before, the fact that it's not the usual 9 lineup, although we see Lumber Kings goes 10 tonight. So there's just a little bit of intricacies. You see how much depth, you see how many players each team has, because The recruitment's a little bit different from each team. The availability's a little bit different from each team. And it can kind of show down the stretch.
David Robeloff at the plate for turn 2. Takes a called strike 2 on the inside. Quickly down 1-2 in the count. It's going to Russell Lopez on first. Not showing steal. Swung on and chopped foul.
Robeloff continuing to fight. Struck out looking in the third, and that was a stretch where turn 2, they had 3 runs in the first inning, 0 in the second, and then 0 in the third. Just stymied by Asubio, as you said before, Kevin. Just haven't been able to find an offensive rhythm since.
That one is cranked into right field. Here comes the fielder. The catch is made. And Russell Lopez will trot back to first.
That's a good defensive play out in right field. Nick Hill making the dashing run out there. Good sliding run. Good type of momentum. Good mental strength out there in right.
Robeloff will march his way back. It'll be Ethan Reich. Got thrown into the catching position a few minutes ago. Had a bit of a tough time back there, Mahir.
Yeah, and I think that's the biggest thing is you have a lot of guys just forced into these positions.
Reich swings right through a fastball. Count goes 1-1.
Sometimes it can also be mental fatigue as well, that you play 2 games earlier in the week and you're looking to try to make it a third, try to get something in your favor. That plays a role as well because Lumber Kings, they had 2 games before this. Same goes for Turn 2. Turn 2 actually won both of their games against Red Rocks on Monday and against AZ Premier on Tuesday. Lumber Kings with 2 games.
2-2 pitch on the way from Figueroa. Swung on and missed by Ethan Reich, and that'll be the game. Lumber Kings take this one over turn 2, 10-4, after what was a pretty long game here.
Yeah, it definitely was. It seemed like it was going to stretch out for some time, the way pitches were being run, the way a lot of these teams, especially Lumber Kings, just took advantage of the different opportunities, from pass balls to stolen bases, even some errors, just little itty-bitty things. Lumber Kings had that talent. They had the discipline. It got them the win tonight.
I'd say the player of the night might have been Asubio for the Lumber Kings. Unbelievable performance after an up-and-down first inning. Really cranked through that bottom piece of the order for turn 2, and they never looked back. Had the reins from then on, and I believe that does it for us at Salt River Fields. That's been Mahir Hassan, me, Kevin Cardez, our producer, Ryan Sikora, and we're saying goodnight from Field 4.